Hey guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. And today I want to talk about products I always talk about. No, what I actually wanted to talk about is K-beauty products that I'm always recommending. You know, not only on YouTube and on Instagram, but actually in my real life, person to person, right? Face to face. I actually do get asked a lot for product recommendations. And there is really a handful of products that I'm just always talking about and always recommending because I just believe in them so much. I feel like they bring so many benefits and can work for a really big variety of people. I just find them really reliable and trustworthy. And I thought it'd be a great idea to have a video where I do talk about the products that I'm always recommending all the time. So if you guys are still ready to find out what they are, you know the drill. Give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. Isntree Micellar Melting Cleansing Oil. I love this stuff so much because, well, a couple of reasons. I mean, ingredients are super minimal and pretty sensitive skin friendly, which I just, something I really appreciate in skincare. But what I really love about this is the texture because this is so light. This is probably the lightest cleansing oil that I have probably ever used, and I just find really light cleansing oil textures to be so enjoyable. I don't know, there is just something about it. They just glide across your skin so effortlessly. They really just kind of get in there and break down makeup and sunscreen and all the debris in your pores so nicely. If you guys like to do like a little massage with your cleansing oil to help release blackheads and clog pores and grits and things like that, this type of texture I just personally find is amazing. It feels so good. And what I really like about this too is it just works really well. This is not something you really have to work into your skin really aggressively. I do use my cleansing oils to remove my eye makeup and I don't have to sit there and really rub and tug. It's actually just a really powerful cleansing oil with minimal effort and it washes away so cleanly. I adore the Heimish All Clean Green Foam, not just because it retails around $12, which I think is just the right price for a cleanser, but because it just checks so many boxes for me. I am only using low pH cleansers. They got to come in at 5.5. That respects your skin's acid mantle. So important, especially if you are focused on your moisture barrier, if you are prone to inflammation, sensitivity, acne. Basically, everybody should be respecting their acid mantle and their skin's natural pH. And so having a cleanser that is about that right pH is a really good move. This is excellent. It's fragrance free. There's no essential oils in this one. Sometimes essential oils pop up in Heimish cleansers. Not this one. This isn't a true foaming or gel type of texture. I classify it as a jelly texture because it's a little bit thicker. It still spreads really nicely onto the skin and emulsifies beautifully and is a very effective cleanser, but it just doesn't seem like it takes as much moisture as your more traditional gel type of cleansers. And I do think it is a really good rival to those who have had bad experiences with the Cosrx Good Morning Low pH cleanser. This seems to kind of correct a lot of where that cleanser can go wrong for some of us with more dehydrated or dry skin types or sensitive skin types. This is a really good alternative. Now let's talk about the Missha Time Revolution First Treatment Essence. To me, this is one of the best examples of what a first essence is. I love essences. I'm always talking about the differences between a first essence and what I call a traditional essence, right? But this is really a great example of what a first essence really means to Asian beauty. This is my opinion, of course. But really, these are quite unique in the greater skincare world. You don't find a lot of essence products in Western beauty. And when you do, it's because they've been influenced by Asian beauty. And so I find this to be, if you really are thinking about getting into a very K-beauty or Asian beauty centric routine, I find this is kind of one of those areas where you want to fulfill this product step because you're this is definitely unique and special. It does brighten up your skin. Really beautiful, healthy glow to this. There's fantastic barrier supportive ingredients in here. It brings a nice amount of hydration. It's a great kind of prep and boosting product for the rest of your skincare routine. A really beautiful, easily absorbed, very weightless type of texture, and it does show results. You know, it makes your skin glow. It really brings that healthiness to your skin, and it feels amazing. I'm a huge fan. I've tried different variations of this over the years, and I've always just kind of felt like this works really hard for my skin, and I'm so happy to recommend this one if you are looking for a very traditional type of first essence, because I find this to be, well, it's not the cheapest, it's not the most expensive. I find it to be fairly affordable, it's easy to find, and like I said, it really works. But of course, there is another essence from Missha that I am super obsessed with and I talk about all the time, and that is the Artemisia treatment essence. I couldn't not talk about it in this video because it is another first essence that I probably equally recommend alongside of the first treatment essence, but I guess I will make the distinction that this is more of a product geared towards people who experience lots of redness on their skin, lots of irritation, people who do go through bouts of sensitivity on their skin. I think this might be a really good essence choice for you if you're really seeking to repair that irritation on your skin. Now, this is an example of a single extract essence. Again, another kind of like unique product to Asian beauty, and this features 100% fermented mugwort. High concentration of mugwort, no other extracts to kind of like confuse the matter, if that makes sense. Like, we're just focusing in on one really strong, compelling anti-irritation ingredient in a high concentration, and it's been fermented. And you know, I always say fermentation supercharges the ingredient. So like, this is mugwort on steroids, and I don't know about you, but I know my skin loves some mugwort on steroids. What? Now, speaking of products that are kind of unique to the K-beauty and Asian beauty world, hydrating toners. This is definitely a concept that was pretty new to me when I did enter into the K-beauty world, the K-beauty side of things, right? Come to the K-beauty side. I've definitely come to the K-beauty side. And I do tend to recommend toners to especially a lot of K-beauty beginners, and especially if you think that you are suffering from dehydration on your skin, you have to have a hydrating toner. So I've tried many, I love many, but there really are 3 core products I feel super confident recommending to a large group of people. And the first one is the Etude House Soon Jung Relief Toner. Now, this is one that I think will work for all skin types. It's super gentle in the ingredient formulation, and it is a mixture of madecassoside, which is a very calming anti-inflammation ingredient, and panthenol, which is a really beautiful hydrator for the skin. And so this has a really nice watery, really light type of texture. It's easily absorbed in the skin, and it really doesn't have like a thickness or a weight to it when it is on your skin. So this is, like I said, something I feel really comfortable recommending to very oily skin types or even very dry skin types, and based on the ingredients, even very sensitive skin types. Now, there is another one that I talk about all the time, and that is the Keep Cool and Soothe Bamboo Toner. This is really good if you have deep dehydration issues on your skin, because this one just really feels like it very deeply hydrates the skin. You know, my friend James Welsh always calls it full fat water, and this is a really good example of full fat water. It has that feeling to it. I love the Tiam Vita B5 toner. Now, B5 is actually referring to the ingredient panthenol, which is a really fantastic hydrator for the skin. It's actually very skin calming and soothing, and it's a very barrier supportive ingredient as well. So it's nice to find it in a toner, especially if you are trying to treat issues of dehydration and dry skin. This is beautiful. It's still got a nice lighter feeling on the skin compared to like really thick, almost gel type of toners. We're not even going into that area. This is still very light, but it just has a little bit more of that skin feeling, that full fat body yaddy, little hint of moisture to this toner, and it really just comforts and soothes dry skin so beautifully. Now, there are so many serums out there that are amazing, and so many serums that I love and have seen so many benefits from. Actually, choosing this category was kind of hard for me in this video, but there's a handful that I do talk about a lot. I do tend to recommend a lot, and you know, these are 4 different products that I can see working for a wide variety of people. So the first one I want to recommend is really based on those of you who do get some breakouts on your skin, who do have inflammation inflamed or reddened skin, but maybe also sensitive skin. It's, of course, the by Wishtrend Polyphenols in Propolis 15% Ampoule. I know I talk about it all the time, but it's just because I love it and trust it so much, especially when I am starting to go through some more breakouts and inflamed pimples on my skin, because this uses a really beautiful combination of propolis as well as H. cordata extract. And these are really anti-inflammation powerhouses. It is a little bit on the lighter side when it comes to texture. There is a whisper of moisture to this, but there's a really nice amount of hydration to it as well. And this is just no stickiness, by the way, but this is just really beautiful for calming down inflammation, calming down redness, calming down pimples on the skin. There's a gorgeous like wound healing ability to this ampoule that really helps speed up the process of your pimples, really helps speed up, especially if, you know, it happens, we pop pimples, right? And we just get these like gaping wounds on our face. This actually seems to help mend that area and heal it up a lot faster. I've just seen so many benefits from this, and I'm really comfortable recommending this to acne prone skin. This is a really great alternative to more aggressive acne products as well, because it's very gentle on the skin. Now, there are two products from Benton that I've loved for many, many years. I do recommend these a lot for so many reasons, but these two actually bring the same benefits. They really help to treat inflammation and acne, but what makes this different from the by Wishtrend Propolis ampoule is that this also brightens up your skin, both in very gentle ways. But they bring it in two slightly different textures that are going to suit different skin types. So the Benton Snail Bee Essence is a beautiful, hydrating, lightweight gel texture that really helps calm down pimples on your skin, really help heal them up a lot faster. We've got all the fantastic benefits of snail in this one. I think it's about 90% snail in this. But again, the way that this has been formulated, we've got some great brightening ingredients in here, some great anti-inflammation ingredients in here that help treat your pimples and can help treat hyperpigmentation left over by pimples. This is also just a great formulation to choose if you are looking for some just general brightening in your skincare routine and in a really kind of gentle way. This is a great one with a really hydrating texture. Now, maybe you have slightly more dry skin or combination skin, but you like a little bit more body to your serums, right? So they have the ultimate Snail Bee Serum, and this is really quite similar to the Essence, but there's a couple of differences. There is a little bit of fermentation on the snail in this one, and the texture has a little bit more balance to it. It is a little bit more hydrating and moisturizing, but still in a nice light texture that doesn't like dry down on the skin tacky or anything like that. And also really fantastic to help fade dark marks or just really give you a nice even complexion on the skin. And you know I'm absolutely obsessed with the Klairs Watery Oil Drop. This is a little bit more of a recent obsession over the last year and a half or so, but I'm a huge fan of it. And this is really something I recommend kind of in two fronts. If you're really looking for an overall skin health serum, there's some nice barrier supportive ingredients, some great antioxidants, some nice kind of like general like preventative anti-aging type of benefits to this one as well. This is super good, especially if you have combination skin, because it's the type of product that brings hydration and moisture in kind of equal amounts, but not a super heavy texture. And this is one that if you are really like a dew chaser, you're really seeking glass skin. You absolutely love hydrated, plump, and dewy skin. This is the product for you. Now, recommending one or two moisturizers to a wide variety of people is super hard for me because it is one of those products in the kind of the skincare world that I find to be really individual. I do have lots of reviews on moisturizers, and so definitely check that out if you are kind of seeking for moisturizer recommendations. I've got lots of resources for you. You can definitely find one that should fit your needs. But I am going to bring it up because I always talk about it, and I know a lot of you guys who have tried it have also loved it, so I do want to bring it up because it's probably one of my most popular recommendations, and it's the Illiyoon 80 Ceramide Concentrate Cream. This is great if you are combination leaning on the dry side, right? You like a little bit more emolliency to your moisturizer. If you have dry skin, I think this is a really great night cream option for those who have dehydrated skin as well, because this is a cream that has ceramized cholesterol fatty acids. So it's very barrier supportive and very healing type of ingredient kind of mix happening here. The texture of this is a very medium weight cream. It's got a nice amount of emolliency to it without being overly rich. You know, it's not something that feels really oily or like kind of greasy on the skin or even like super buttery. You know, this just has a really nice amount of comforting moisture and it doesn't leave a finish on top of your skin. Another thing that just really catapults this into one of my favorite moisturizers, sunscreens. Yeah, we're getting into the tricky category of skincare products here because this is just like moisturizers, super duper individual, and this is where you really start to see how different skin can be. Now, again, I have lots of sunscreen reviews. If you guys want to dive deeper into this particular subject, you can definitely check those out. I'm going to like link everything that I'm kind of like mentioning as well, the playlist. However, there's one product that I really love and have used like really consistently for like a year and a half with really good results, and that's the Purito Unscented Centella Green Level Sunscreen. However, there is a sunscreen that I recently discovered that it's hard to say this, oh, how do I say this? If you've watched my videos for a hot second, you know for a really long time, I was like, Purito, 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 Purito sunscreen. I love this stuff. And you'd be like, try this other. And I'd be like, no, just Purito. That's the one for me. However, there is a product that I recently discovered. It's the Keep Cool and Soothe Bamboo Sun Essence. They recently came out with this. And this is an excellent sunscreen that might be just a little bit better than the Purito one. It's hard when you love something so much and then it's just like, it's hard to let it go. You know what I mean? No, I mean, there's a lot of really similar things about these sunscreens. They're both SPF 50, PA+4. They're both chemical sunscreens. They have really similar textures. You know, they feel very light on the skin. They don't have white cast. They reapply really easily without any pilling. Clearly, neither one of these irritates my skin. You know, just across the board, they both are very similar, but there's a few differences that, in my opinion, can make the Keep Cool potentially even a better choice. You know, I think the mixture of chemical UV filters in the Keep Cool maybe a little bit more compelling than the Purito. I call myself a very average or just like daily sunscreen user. I don't get a ton of intense sun exposure throughout the year. So honestly, on like performance, I find them to be very similar in performance. That's just my personal experience. And the texture of the Keep Cool, I do find to be lighter. You know, they are similar. I put them in the light sunscreen category, but between the two, you know, the Keep Cool a little lighter, a little airier on the skin. It just has a really pleasing feel, very almost weightless, you know, just really nice, light and breathable, even on reapplication. And so in that alone, getting super duper picky, I think Keep Cool might be just a little bit more elegant, maybe just a little bit better. It is more expensive though, and it is, you know, maybe a little harder to find at like every K-beauty shop. So that's why I wanted to bring up them both up. But if somebody, especially like somebody kind of just starting their sunscreen journey and just looking for a really excellent recommendation, I would not hesitate to say this is where you should start. And I want to talk about some masks that are really solid performers for the skin. So the Benton Good by Redness Centella Sheet Mask is wonderful. I actually find like pretty much all the sheet masks from Benton to be really impressive, but this particular one, amazing if you're getting some pimples, some breakouts, some redness on your skin. This has a really good amount of centella in it with a really beautiful, hydrating, juicy, like super soaked sheet mask. And I kid you not, whenever I use this, if I have a pimple, like a big honking pimple, this reduces the size of the pimple and just like gets it onto the healing phase so much quicker. It's amazing. You know, I'm always talking about the Isntree Real Mugwort Clay Mask. You know, if you are like really seeking for a clay mask recommendation, don't hesitate on this one. I really think it's excellent. And as somebody who has like, you know, dehydrated skin that can definitely get very dry and tight, Clay masks, not always something I want to be messing around with, if you know what I mean, but this formulation has really solved a lot of the problems I've experienced with clay masks in the past. But just because it's gentle doesn't mean it's not effective. This has a really beautiful skin clarifying and pore refining effect. It's really amazing. And even for somebody like me, like I said, with dehydrated and sensitive, sometimes dry skin, I'm still seeing really great benefits with this without it drying out my skin. Two other wash off masks that I just love. I always recommend them. I always talk about them, and I always have them in my skincare arsenal. The I'm from Honey wash off mask and the I'm from Mugwort wash off mask. Honey is really beautiful to bring a lot of moisture into your skin. Great if you have dry skin, dehydrated skin, irritated skin, inflamed skin. It is really good at calming it down. Now the Mugwort mask, on the other hand, I use this all the stinking time. This has got a nice kind of like jelly type texture to it. It does bring a nice amount of not deeply hydrating, but just like a nice amount of hydration into the skin. And it does reduce redness really nicely, especially if you get a little reddened pimple or even just like a little inflamed reddened skin, but you want a lighter texture, not so much moisture like the honey mask. The Mugwort one is a really good option. It's great for fighting dehydration as well. Ooh, that is an epic list of my greatest hits. These are products that I just absolutely love and adore. I do talk about them all the time, but for good reason. And, you know, I just really believe in their performance. So hopefully this video helps you out, just kind of have like all of my favorite recommendations at your fingertips, so to speak. And I am curious to know, like, what is one product that you're always recommending to your friends? Like the one that you just can't stop talking about because it is just so good for your skin. Let me know in the comment box below. Let's help each other out. We're always looking for new products to try. If you enjoyed the video, it was very helpful to you, but for whatever reason you haven't hit subscribe yet, please don't go yet. Hit subscribe so you never miss out on any new videos. I do release 2 new skincare focused videos every single week, and turn on notifications as well, because then you'll never miss out on anything that I release in the future. And you know, I always say that I hope you are healthy, happy, and safe. And you know, with 2020 coming to a very crazy end and we're all just feeling it right now, I will add on to just be kind, you know, not only to your fellow human beings, but also to yourself. We all need a little bit of good kindness and self-care right now. So be healthy, be happy, be safe, and be kind wherever you are in the world. And I can't wait to talk to you guys soon. Bye.